Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well. So, tonight, the question is, what does it mean to represent pro se? But before we get to that answer to that question, let's talk about some things that happen with lawsuits. Sometimes when people are bringing lawsuits, the defendants will do everything within their power to throw everything at the wall to try and create confusion and delay and make things so expensive for the plaintiff that they eventually have to give up because they either run out of money or they get tired of beating their head against a wall. In my own opinion, the most recent filing by Germaine Chappelle feels like that. It feels like her goal is to create delay. And I say this because, for a fact, she didn't show up on December 21st, 2021, when she was supposed to. And the judge, the presiding judge, ordered her at default because she was notified. Now, there was a later hearing in which she appeared, in which she tried to claim that she wasn't properly served. I will note that during that proceeding, she had to be reminded by the judge, for whatever reason, that she was under oath. And whenever you have to be reminded of that in court, in my opinion, it's probably not a good sign. You know, Germaine Chappelle was the legal counsel of CCSD when a writ of mandamus was filed against the district. And while she was the counsel for CCSD, they argued that they had properly consulted with the Navajo Nation during COVID-19 and measures that the Navajo Nation had instituted for all schools on Navajo Nation land. And during that proceeding, it was found by the presiding judge that CCSD did not properly consult. And more recently, the state of New Mexico lifted mask mandates for schools, but in the superintendent's most recent communication from the central offices on his weekly update, he made sure to mention that he was going to respect the Navajo Nation's current rules, which require mask mandates remain in place. The schools of Kirtland area that are not on Navajo Nation land have had the mask mandate lifted. Now, students can still wear masks if they want to, but they are not required to. And in my own personal opinion, I don't think that CCSD would have respected the wishes of the Navajo Nation if not for that writ of mandamus decision earlier. And remember, Germaine Chappelle was the counsel for CCSD during that time period. The most recent filing that Germaine Chappelle has given also has her listing herself as pro se. What does pro se mean? Pro se means that she's representing herself. And that's because she was found in default. There's an old saying, a lawyer that represents themselves in court has a fool for a client. That's maybe not 100% true, but it's a good rule of thumb. I would also say that anyone who is interested in following this case, you may not be able to have Central Consolidated School Board address ongoing legal proceedings, but if you are a voting constituent in CCSD, if you are a staff member of CCSD, you can ask the school board what they think. They may not be able to answer you, but you can at least let them know that you're paying attention, because Dr. Goldtooth is out there, and apparently now he's going to have to deal with not only the representation of CCSD and the school board, which is separate from Germaine Chappelle, but her as well. My own personal opinion, once again, I'm not a lawyer, but my own personal opinion is they are trying to make this as difficult as possible to just make it go away. Dr. Goldtooth, in my opinion, is doing his best to address a situation that not only affected him, but reflects on the leadership of the administration and certain members of the school board. Not all, especially not the two ones who were most recently voted in. They weren't on the school board when the suit was filed. But it's about a culture of what some would possibly classify as intimidation and a lack of respect. If you are concerned about this, please raise your voice. And if you can, reach out to Dr. Goldtooth, because he's going through a rough time with this, in my opinion, probably because, it's hard to stand up for what's right sometimes. There's an old saying, don't do what's easy, do what's right. And he's doing what's right, but it's not easy. Maybe just giving him some words of encouragement would help. Maybe getting involved in the situation and making sure that the administration and the board of CCSD knows that people are watching and paying attention and are interested. And maybe asking the question about why the person who is still the counsel for CCSD is representing themselves rather than standing with the school board members also named in the same lawsuit. Seems interesting to me, and not in a good way. So, I hope you all are doing well. Please, remember, wash your hands, social distance, wear your face mask, get your vaccination if you haven't already got it, and if you can, get boosted. Please stay safe. Keep Dr. Goldtooth in your mind. And this right here. Stronger together. Can't be just one or two people. Has to be more than that. I wish you all well.